You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. So shocking video on social media today of a young black girl, 6 years old, who threw a temper tantrum in the classroom, ends up being arrested by cops, put in a patrol car, and fingerprinted. Look at this shameful, despicable video.
Let's go.
Your grandma will come pick you up, okay?
Oh, I was in school. I just got you.
Come on, let's go.
No, please let me go.
Okay, come on. You can tell me what happened in the car, okay?
I don't want to go to the police car.
You don't want to?
No, please.
You have to.
No, please. Give me a second chance.
You gotta go.
I don't want to do this. No. Please. 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 Please let me go. No, help me.
Okay.
Please, no.
Give me a second.
Appreciate it.
All right, yeah.
Call me if you need something.
Yep.
Okay, I'm watching this video. Y'all, was that cop black?
It looked like he was.
Well, wait, are you talking about
Who
the
is
person?
that? Who is
Are you talking
the
about
cop
the one?
who was sitting here walking?
Well,
The cop who was the cop who was handcuffing her and put her in the car.
Well, the name said Ramos, so possibly, but that sounds like a Latinx name, so I'm not sure.
The person filming
all I know
definitely
is
was.
I don't give a damn. That's a punk-ass cop who should have enough damn sense to say, I'm not going to sit here and handcuff a damn 6-year-old girl because she threw a temper tantrum in the classroom. That's some straight bullshit.
Well, first, who called the police?
Right.
I mean, the teacher, the principal? Who called the police in the first place?
Yeah, and you know what, Roland? Because we
See, no. This is the bullshit happening in these schools where you got these punk-ass teachers and principals who don't know how to handle a situation. A kid who's 6 throws a temper tantrum. You don't call the goddamn cops.
Yeah, and we
to handcuff her, to put her in the back of a police car, to fingerprint her. This is a traumatic experience for a 6-year-old girl.
Yeah, I couldn't even finish watching that.
Yeah.
But we've had these conversations before, and I would not be surprised is that they were following a protocol. They were, we don't, of course, I don't agree with it, but they were following a protocol. And it reminds me of the conversation we were just having either this past week or the prior one where the student, she was admitted into
a psych ward.
Yeah, to a psych ward because that's what the policy said that they could do. And I imagine that this is another example of that. Ridiculous, it's egregious, it's just, and to hear the child crying, of course, it just rips at your heart. But there needs to be a policy change, and I would not be surprised if they were just following whatever the protocol was. And we do know, even if
No, hell no. And look, for y'all who keep hitting me saying don't cuss, let me be real clear. Fuck that.
Oh my
if
gosh.
I'm a cop, I'm gonna sit here and say I am not going to handcuff a 6-year-old child and have her fingerprinted. If I'm that cop, I'm saying I'm not doing it. No, not doing it.
Yeah, I totally.
Not 6 years old.
Yeah,
6 years old.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think that's probably it's probably protocol, and the officer going there probably knew that that's something that they could do. I don't agree with it, so let's be clear about that. It's not something that I agree with, but that's probably the protocol down there for whatever crazy reason.
I don't care, Michael. I'm not doing it.
Right, Roland, it's absolutely absurd. When the police officer got to the school, he said he should say to the principal or teacher, whoever, I'm not dealing with this. You guys deal with this. The officer, I don't care what the protocol, what it says. There's nothing in any bylaw that says you handcuff a 6-year-old child and bring him down to process them. That can't be protocol. The protocol is the cop sometimes has to use his own or her own judgment and say, you know what, principal or madam teacher or Mr. Teacher, I'm not doing this. You all need to figure this out. I have other stuff I need to do.
Kelly, this crap, and see, what makes this so sickening is here you are, a child 6, and she's begging you. That girl, that memory ain't going away. Of being in the back of a police car, of being handcuffed. And I know people who are saying, hey, teach your children better. Look, I have been in many schools. I have seen little ass white boys and little ass white girls throw temper tantrums, Latino, black, whatever. A 6-year-old kid, that's what some do. They throw temper tantrums. But you don't call the damn cops. What you do is you sit their ass in a room by themselves and say, sit here and yell and scream and act a fool, but guess what? We ain't dealing with you. That's what you do. You put them in a room. You stick them in the office. You don't call the cops.
No, you don't call the cops. And it's just hard for me to put my anger into words right now because I have seen firsthand situations like this, and it doesn't make it any easier. There is absolutely no excuse for this. Like, I'm taking that entire video into consideration. Like, I'm hearing the police officer put zip ties on a 6-year-old. I'm hearing the child scream at the top of her lungs, give me a second chance, as if she didn't need a first one. You know what I mean? Like this, she's a child. She doesn't know how to reconcile hard situations yet. She's 6 years old. She doesn't know anything other than just sad, just happy, just angry, just hungry. Why? Because she's a child. And you have adults there who know this about children, who still took it upon themselves to put a child into a system that they don't even belong in. I'm not even going to say don't belong in yet. Don't belong in, period. There was no excuse for this whatsoever. There are plenty of tactics. Outside of putting the child in the room, there are plenty of tactics to mitigate a situation, to mediate a situation, to calm a child down. And I understand how teachers don't want to be liable for putting their hands on children or whatever, but now you're liable for a 6-year-old going to jail. So I would much rather have liability on me for literally picking up a child and putting them somewhere than having on my conscience calling the police on a 6-year-old because a 6-year-old did what a 6-year-old does. This is absurd. I would hope there would be an unleashing of protest against the police department, against the school, against the principal, against the school district, and whatever needs to be done, if this is policy, change it, because here's the deal. I cannot recall seeing a video of a 6-year-old white kid being handcuffed and put in the back of a police car and fingerprinted. I'm sorry, show me the video. Show me the body cam video of that happening. Show me the video of that happening.
Yeah, well, Roland,
I want to see that.
Yeah, just to say quickly, you know, I think that it probably has something to do with where that is. I can't remember where the student was taken to the mental facility. I can't remember where.
Florida.
Well, yeah, we go into Florida.
No. That's a separate case.
No, but I'm saying Yeah, but my point is that
that's a separate. No. That's a separate case from this one. I'm speaking specifically of this one.
Yeah, but my point is that these type of policies are in place. I totally agree with everyone that this is ridiculous that a 6-year-old would actually be handcuffed at all. But I compare.
No, Melik. The case you're mentioning that we discussed last week, that's a state law that allows that.
I don't know that there's a state law in Florida that says if a child throws a temper tantrum, you are to call the cops.
Yeah.
And then that child is to be arrested and fingerprinted.
Yeah, well, I'm not arguing in favor of it. Like, I agree with everyone that it's ridiculous. What I'm saying is
No, but what I'm saying is, do you know for a fact it's a policy? You keep saying it's policy. Do you know for a fact that this is the protocol?
I've never said that. I've never actually said that it was policy. What I've said that it's very well that it could be policy if they have the whoever the person that
policy. But Melik, policy and law are two separate things.
Right. But again, Roland,
if there's a law that mandates this being okay, we get that. A policy can actually be ignored, as Michael said.
Yeah,
if you're a cop, you don't have to follow policy.
Sure, but we're talking about discretion at this point. Again, just to make it clear, I think that it's ridiculous that an officer had to be called to the school. I compare it to, well, I don't compare it. I volunteer at a private school for boys here in D.C. Well, they actually have, so that it would not have happened at that school if for no other reason that they actually have an on-site therapist who's there every single day. So when there's some type of behavioral issue, they literally go to a room where it's literally a sofa in there. So it would not have happened there. I don't want to give the impression that I agree with it at all. What I'm saying is that even though we're talking about discretion, it's probably something that's written in policy anywhere. As ridiculous as it is, it's probably something that's written in policy somewhere.
This is the fundamental problem when you talk about a school to prison pipeline. This is a perfect example of what we're talking about, of a school to prison pipeline. And unfortunately, Florida is one of the leading states when it comes to this kind of shameful bullshit happening in this country.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, so a lot of y'all are always asking me about some of the pocket squares that I wear. Now, Robert don't have one on. Nope. Now, I don't particularly like the white pocket squares. I don't like even the silk ones. And so I was reading GQ magazine a number of years ago, and I saw this guy who had this pocket square here, and it looks like a flower. This is called a shibori pocket square. This is how the Japanese manipulate the fabric to create this sort of flower effect. So I'm going to take it out and then place it in my hand so you see what it looks like. And I said, man, this is pretty cool. And so I tracked down, it took me a year to find a company that did it. And so they basically about 47 different colors. And so I love them because, again, as men, we don't have many accessories to wear, so we don't have many options. And so this is really a pretty cool pocket square. Now, what I love about this here is you saw when it's in the pocket, it gives you that flower effect like that. But if I wanted to also, because if I flip it and turn it over, it actually gives me a different type of texture. And so therefore it gives me a different look. So there you go. So if you actually want to get one of these shibori pocket squares, we have them in 47 different colors. All you got to do is go to RolandSMartin.com/pocket squares. All right, so first of all, that graphic is way too small. So tomorrow we're going to run it right down here all across the screen. So it's RolandSMartin.com/pocket squares. All you got to do is go to my website and you can actually get this. Now, for those of you who are members of our Bring the Funk fan club, there's a discount for you to get our pocket squares. That's why you also got to be a part of our Bring the Funk fan club. And so that's what we want you to do. And so it's pretty cool. So if you want to jazz your look up, you can do that. In addition, y'all see me with some of the feather pocket squares. My sister, who's a designer, she actually makes these. They're all custom made. So when you also go to the website, you can also order one of the customized feather pocket squares right there at RolandSMartin.com/pocket squares. So please do so. And of course, it goes to support the show. And again, if you're a Bring the Funk fan club member, you get a discount. This is why you should join the fan club. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. You want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it.